This is the introduction of Rules of Engagement, Chapter 2, titled Speak Boundaries Early. If you're new to my Rules of Engagement series, I'm releasing my entire book one part at a time before it goes to print. Everything here comes verbatim from the completed manuscript. In the description, you'll find the sign-up link for release dates for the print and digital versions, plus the field guide. You'll also find the chapter playlist links for each chapter on my channel page. If she doesn't know where your line is, it's because you didn't tell her. And if she crosses it more than once, it's because you let her. Welcome to the rules of setting boundaries early when meeting a woman, where expressing your expectations from day one is not about controlling her behaviors, but about expressing yours. It's about claiming your masculine presence right from the start, setting the emotional and respectful scene before she scripts it for you. Every man enters a new relationship with long-standing convictions, expectations, and deal breakers. But most men never say them out loud because they think that the woman will just know or she'll just pick up on it. Spoiler alert, she doesn't, and she won't. In the following sections of this chapter, we'll learn through self-respect theory that when you assume she'll just pick up on your values, you create a vacuum that she'll fill with her own script, and odds are it will not reflect who you are. You don't get her clear understanding for values that you never explicitly express. A woman cannot respect a boundary or expectation if you never had the balls to state them. And once the dynamic is set, changing it is like trying to reroute a train at full speed. That's why you don't wait until you're hurt to speak. You speak early when things are calm, because your silence in the beginning becomes her permission slip to do whatever she pleases. Rather than inviting her on his journey, too many men hold back their truths in the name of getting to know her and letting it flow organically. They think they're being chill, easygoing, or mature. Unfortunately, what they're actually doing is auditioning for the role of a boyfriend. And the longer they audition, the harder it is to reclaim their authority later, after they've let it slide during that audition. So in this chapter, I'll give examples of research that shows when men who delay boundary expression early in relationships, they're far more likely to report emotional dissatisfaction, identity loss, and burnout later on. Because the relational structure they created was built on silence and appeasement, not substance. Research on early boundary clarity shows that stating your expectations up front does not increase conflict. Rather, it prevents it by keeping you silently seething down the road. That's why it's important to teach her on day one. The sections that follow in this chapter address what modern research has confirmed for 75 years. That early clarity not only attracts respect, it filters out dysfunction. It helps you avoid the trap of passive compliance, a trap that often ends with many men asking, "How did it get this bad, and how do I fix it?" Listen, it got that bad because they thought that holding back was polite and safe. But withholding boundaries doesn't keep the peace. It only delays the inevitable war. In this chapter, I'll also reveal that according to the Premack principle, early behavioral patterns become expectations. And when you reward inconsistency with silence, you're setting the tone for a one-sided relationship. Over time, unspoken resentment builds, which leads to irritation and withdrawal. And you end up feeling like she doesn't respect you. And the truth is, she doesn't, because you did not demonstrate how to respect you. We'll also review in this chapter assertiveness communication research, which demonstrates that calmly stating your needs early isn't confrontation. It's planned leadership. In fact, the most powerful boundaries are delivered the very first time they arise with calm confidence, simply and directly. It's like arriving at your brother's Memorial Day pool party, slapping a steak on the counter, and telling him, "Cook it rare, butter on the side, and if you bring me A1 sauce, I'm leaving." You didn't yell, you didn't threaten, you just set your standard, and everyone in the kitchen damn well respects it. That's at the core of assertion, not begging to be understood, just calmly stating your preferences with the same certainty that you'd order a bourbon. Neat, not negotiated. We'll also uncover scarcity theory, which tells us that people only value what can be lost. So the sooner you demonstrate that your time and presence need to be earned, the sooner she calibrates you to your value. It tells her that your resources, including your presence, your money, and your affection, are not free. Make no mistake that some women will test your boundaries early on. Some will do it consciously, while others won't even realize it. But regardless of intention, every woman wants to know if you can stay centered under pressure and if he can calmly reinforce his limits to gain respect from others. And the men who are not afraid to speak up early pass that test. They don't wait for disrespects to pile up like last week's clothes in the laundry bin. In the following sections, we'll also dive into several more of the most solid psychological foundations behind early boundaries and their expression, such as autonomy research, attachment theory, and equity theory, and you'll learn how to apply them to specific dating and relationship dynamics. And we'll finally put to rest the myth that setting limits makes you difficult or toxic. Actually, quite the opposite is true. Having and expressing boundaries early is a sign of masculine leadership, because it shows that, unlike most men these days, you actually have a spine and you're willing to stick up for yourself. As you continue through Chapter 2, keep in mind that some women, the quality ones, will love your clarity. Others will call it controlling or misogynistic, but that's fine. Let someone else deal with those women, because you're not responsible for their reactions. You are responsible only for your own integrity. You don't need every new woman to understand or appreciate your standards, and you shouldn't expect all of them to. You just need the one who respects them. And so this chapter will give you the tools, the insight, and the confidence to do exactly that, to state what you expect up front. Because in a world that constantly tells men to just be nice, your boundaries might be the only thing keeping you from an upcoming lifetime of misery. So speak them. Live them, enforce them, and do it early. If you want direct help with your boundaries, mindset, or leadership, I'm available at rowpress.com. And keep moving through the rules with one of these playlists.